I think we are live. Hi guys, welcome to 2024. Just give me 2 secs, just got to do that. Got it. Welcome to 2024, first live of this year. Live 51, I think it was. I think the last one last year was 50, so this must be 51. Happy New Year. Hope everyone had a good Christmas and New Year break. If you had a break, obviously most dog handlers possibly were working, but yeah, I had a nice decent break from the 20th until New Year's Day. So I am full shifting, last shift of the week, full shifting for this year, and so far it's been all right. Today's start of the shift is probably the most chaotic start of a shift I've ever had. In terms of driving to site, aquaplaning for about 50 yards in the new van, which is a Vivaro, which scared the living shit out of me, made me sweat a little bit, and then got to site. It's absolutely well, the bit I sit in, I'm going to say at least 40% of it is under 6 inches of water, so the site is flooded. I nearly died on the way here aquaplaning. But yeah, so quite a chaotic start to today's shift. Obviously getting the dog out, trying to stay out of the puddles and all that sort of stuff, but yeah, it's been a chaotic start to this shift, but last one of the week, fourth one of the year, and yeah, looking forward to it. I've got my video for this Saturday is going to be my goals for 2024. I've got 5 goals that I've laid out. Now, some of them are to do with the channel, some of them are to do with the dogs, some of them to do with the job, etc. But yeah, this video, the Saturday video this week, is going to be my goals for 2024. They're nothing, say nothing exciting. I think that they're sensible ones. Goals, when you set goals at the start of the year, they should be achievable. I feel like these are achievable. A few of them are going to be, or at least one of them is going to be my opinion to whether I tick it off or not. But the rest of them we should be able to tick or cross at the end of the year and say, yeah, we done that, or no, we didn't. But yeah, over the Christmas period, you had the quiz and the quiz answers. Hope you enjoyed the quiz and the quiz answers. I've spoken to a few people that said they enjoyed the quiz. But yeah, so the quiz seemed to go down reasonably well. It's the second one I've done. I probably should do some more. I do find when I do the quiz, I do find it quite difficult to do questions that are not impossible, but they're not too easy as well, because I'm not saying that I'm the most clued up dog handler you're ever going to meet, but a lot of the questions that I set are pretty obvious to me. But then I understand that there are people that watch my stuff that aren't in the industry or thinking about it, etc., which is good learning curve for them. So something really obvious for me is going to be good training for other people. So I'm trying to see where the benchmark is of doing the quiz, etc. But yeah, the quiz seemed to go down well. Like I say, this Saturday is going to be my goals of 2024, and yeah, hopefully some people will get involved and comment on that video and let me know some of the, one of their goals. I think in the video I'm only asking for like one goal. I'm not asking you to spill out your lifetime of this year, but just maybe think of a goal that you've got for this year, and then comment on Saturday's video, and then at the end of the year we can see whether you achieved it or not. It doesn't have to be being a dog handler. I mean, it might just be getting your FIA license. That might just be your goal for the year. So, but yeah, so that video is coming out. David Leeson, hi Michael, very happy new year to you. Those traffic vans are so easy to get stuck and spin out. Thanks for the great vids in 2023, giving you a real insight to the job as a security dog handler. Yeah, like I say, on the way here today, I was right in the middle of a proper downpour, and the motorway started flooding and that, and I was just going down. I think I was doing 55, 60 on the motorway, and it all went a little bit quiet, and I was thinking to myself, why has that gone so quiet? Like, you know, you normally hear the rumbling of the wheels and that on the tarmac, etc., and it just went quiet, and the steering went a little bit loose. I was like, what's happening? Is like the vehicle down powering or something? And then all of a sudden the wheels tracked again and sort of shook the van. So basically all I was doing is I was aquaplaning for like 50 yards, and obviously that the loss of sound was the loss of the wheels touching the tarmac, and the van literally just aquaplaning for about 50 yards. But yeah, thankfully then like I say, the van sort of must have hit a bit of tarmac and kind of reshuffled itself. But yeah, I was properly sweating after that for like the next 5 minutes. I had to put the heater on cold just to cool me down a little bit. But yeah, it's been a bit chaotic. I'm glad you enjoyed the videos in 2023, giving you an insight. Like I say, I think a lot of my videos are giving an insight into what it's like to be a security dog handler, trying to give some useful information for people without giving the game away too much. I have been, in the back of my mind, I do understand that there possibly are people that are watching my videos to try and get a scoop, etc. And to be honest, I don't think I give too much away in my videos, etc. I think that the information that I give over is going to benefit more dog handlers than it is going to benefit anyone else. And a lot of the stuff with security dog handling, I think, is the same as any other dog owner. So in the quiz, like the Control of Dogs Order 1992, that's not specifically for security dog handlers. That didn't just start applying to me when I become a security dog handler. That started applying to me the moment I got a dog. So I think you have to, like I say, I think a lot of the information that I give out is going to benefit dog handlers and dog owners more than it's going to benefit other people. But yeah, I'm glad that you've been enjoying it and getting an insight to what it's like, etc. But yeah, chaos today with the weather, etc. It's going to make a bit of a boring shift, I think, with so much of the site flooded. Like I say, probably 40% of this is under 6 inches of water, so it's going to make a reasonably boring shift because we just don't have a lot of room to do anything. We'll get out, play some ball, do some different bits and pieces like that, but yeah, it's going to make for a bit of a boring shift. So I'll have to come up with a few things that me and Coop can do in the limited area that we have. I'm not going to have the dog running through puddles and different things like that. It's just absolutely pointless. Porsche K9, evening all, happy new year everyone, happy new year mate. I've had to order some new boots tonight. I've been hinting at getting some new trainer boots. So for people that don't know, I've got like some trainer boots, so like some boots that are more trainer type for things like tarmac, hard wearing or hard surfaces, etc. So like I'm on now, concrete, whatever, paved. So I have them boots, and then I have my Hakes boots, which are more for building sites and different things like that. I've been putting off buying a new pair of trainer ones for a while, but tonight I've bitten the bullet and I've got some new ones. So I've gone a little bit rogue in terms of make. I've gone for Adidas. I've gone for some Adidas hiking shoes, and they will be coming in the next few days. Reason I went for them is that they're a little bit cheaper than the normal boots you will get. Like I say, it's more of a trainer boot, more of a tarmac stroke paved boot, etc. So it doesn't have to be too special. More for the summer or more for like the area that I'm in now. They was 120 quid down to 80 quid in the sale. So that was another reason that pushed me to order them tonight. They was down by 32% or whatever. So yeah, I've got some new summer stroke trainer boots coming. Like I say, I've been hinting at it for a while. The sole on my Nike Momoas is coming off, So I decided, you know what, it's about time that I got myself a new pair. These night mowers have done me well. Obviously I've been wearing the other boots on building sites, etc. But these night mowers have lasted me. What are we at now? How long have I been doing this job? 3 years. So I've had these boots, these Nike trainer boots, and they've lasted me 3 years. So I think that that's a decent innings. I think I only paid about 50 quid for them. So yeah, I've got them coming on the way. I would do a review, but they're kind of just like Adidas. I mean, is it likely that Adidas are going to pick up on me doing a review on their boot? Probably not. Are they going to sponsor me for any products? Probably not. So probably I will mention them, and maybe I'll show them in a video coming up. But yeah, so I've got some of them coming. Like I say, the sole's starting to come off these, and with it being a little bit wet at the moment, they're letting in a little bit of water. So it's about time I bit the bullet, and with the sole coming off, it can kind of soften the blow when I tell the missus that I've spent another 80 quid on a pair of boots. David Cummins, Happy New Year. What is the most challenge what's the most challenge you experienced in 2023, and if you could change anything in 2024, what would it be? What was the most challenging thing I experienced in 2023? Good question. What was the most challenging thing in 2023 in terms of dog handling? I'd say that 2020, to be honest with you, like 2023, I kind of just sailed through the year, to be honest. I kind of just sailed through the year. Like every week was pretty decent. Didn't really deal with any bad situations. Very rarely have I had to deal with people on site, etc. I kind of just sailed through 2023. In terms of, I suppose the biggest challenge I experienced in 2023, thinking about it, was probably the van crash. So having the crash, writing off the van, having the whiplash injuries, being off work for 3 weeks, I think, in the end. And I think just getting through that, luckily for me, and obviously Coop was absolutely fine. So, but I think that was the biggest challenge for me 2023. Like I say, in terms of dog handling and working, etc., I kind of just sailed through the year. Nothing really serious has happened. So yeah, I'd say that the van crash, writing off the van, being without a vehicle for 13 days, then having to go out, find a new van, find the money for the new van, because I wanted a slightly bigger one. With a slightly bigger van, obviously it cost a bit more, so I had to find that money. I think the difference between my old van and this new van was about £2,000, so I had to kind of find that £2,000 in order to get the van that I wanted, rather than getting one and then wanting to change it later down the line. But yeah, I think going through the crash, losing the vehicle, having no vehicle, having to find another vehicle, setting the new one up, getting stuff that I needed, etc., having to buy the non-slip flooring, buying a pot of paint, having to do the painting. But yeah, I think that the change in vehicle, but obviously having to write one off and start from scratch more or less again with a van, I'd say that was probably the biggest challenge. What would I want to change, if anything, in 2024? I think it's the same as always, in terms of security dog handling, is just for us as security dog handlers to be a bit more recognised, to have a bit more protection behind us in terms of law, etc. I think that would be the thing. I've said many times about there being a security dog handling license rather than a security guard license or a door supervisor license. So yeah, I think that's always going to be my change for security dog handling until it happens, is to have a bit more protection behind us in terms of the law, and maybe for it to be a little bit more regulated than it is right now. Although you have governing bodies, NASDU, NTIPDU, BIPDT, that are like governing bodies. They don't really keep a proper governance on everything that's going on. They only obviously keep an eye on the people that they have on the books or whatever. But yeah, I think that's my thing every year about security dog handling, is that although we have some form of protection behind us within law because of the situations that we're in, we're not as protected as probably we should be. So yeah, I think that would be what I would change in 2024. Aaron Buckland, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, mate. Hope you're well. Hope you had a good Christmas and New Year. But yeah, like I say, I think 2024 is going to be, it should be another pretty saleable year. I don't see any obstacles in my way for this year, touch wood. Stuff always just gets thrown at you sometimes, and I think in this job that you can go weeks, months, and everything just being the same, and then all of a sudden something's thrown at you or something happens and it just rocks you for a couple of weeks, etc. Like I say, last year I pretty much sailed through in terms of working week in, week out, shift in, shift out, and then I have a van crash and that just rocked me for like 3 weeks, through injury, through loss of vehicle, different things like that. So I think that's one of the things you can always kind of rely on this job, is that just when you think everything is going smooth, something is going to happen. Dog might get ill, dog might get injured, whatever it is. It's more or less a guarantee throughout the year that you're probably going to get rocked once or twice. But yeah, as long as obviously nothing serious happens and you and the dog stay healthy, different things like that, then it's just sort of part of the job, isn't it? Oh. Is there anything different to what I've said that people would change regarding the security dog handling industry for 2024? Like I say, my one is just for it to be a bit more regulated, to be a bit more recognised, get a bit more protection behind us. I'll be interested to see what happens with NASDU. NASDU have got a new Facebook page, different to the old one. I think the old one had like 3,000 followers or whatever they were, likes or whatever. And someone seems to have started up a new NASDU Facebook page. I think on Security Dog Handlers UK based, someone posted the Facebook page on there the other day, and it seems that NASDU have got a new kind of, I'm not going to say social media guy, I think it's someone that sort of volunteers to do some social media on Facebook for them. So I'm going to be interested to see what that is, because I think the aim of that new Facebook page, I mean, why they didn't use the old one, what I think the aim of the new Facebook page is to be a bit more seen on social media, so that you can maybe contact NASDU or whatever it is. But yeah, NASDU seem to have this new person that's doing some social media stuff, so I'll be interested to see how that goes. I do think that NASDU, NTIPDU and BIPDT to a certain degree need to move on with the times, etc., because unless you know what you're looking for and you know where you want to find it, like, I very much doubt NASDU, NTIPDU and BIPDT are on anyone's radar if they're looking to get into security dog handling. No, I don't think unless you know what you're looking for or someone tells you what you're looking for, there's no way you would ever find their pages, their websites or different things like that. And even if you got onto them pages, especially NASDU's website, is an absolute minefield if you don't know what you're doing to try and find the information that you want. You have to make sure you click on the right bit and different things like that. And I think that NASDU, NTIPDU and BIPDT would benefit from getting themselves out into the public a little bit more, or being a bit more, be able to be seen online. So yeah, I'll be interested to see what happens with this new NASDU Facebook page, see if they do some decent stuff or whatever. I think by the looks of it, it's been going since November and they've only done like a few posts and different things like that. Nothing too exciting just yet, but like I say, it's past Christmas now and into New Year, so hopefully they'll start putting up some stuff. I think one of the last posts is just an example of what a team certificate looks like in terms of you and the dog, etc. But yeah, I think that all three of them can definitely benefit from a bit more putting themselves out in front of people, because like I say, I just don't think that, like, before I got into security dog handling, although I didn't really look into it too much, because I had a mate who, well, my mate is the MD for Prestige, so I didn't really look into it too much, because I thought, well, I can just go to him and ask him and then he'll tell me what to do. But even once I started with Terry and he said about NASDU and different things like that, it wasn't probably for maybe 2, 3, 4 months down the line that someone mentioned something about NTIPDU and BIPDT. Whether it was said in a session and I didn't hear it, but definitely took me probably 2, 3, 4 months to know that there was more than NASDU out there that you could get trained by or get a certificate through, etc. So yeah, I'll be interested to see how that sort of works out. I'm a bit thrown out tonight because I've had to park the van in a different position to where I normally do, just due to where I normally park the van being flooded. So I'm a little bit put out in position that I suppose it is a bit of a better position, to be honest, but I feel a little bit more vulnerable. The back of the van's got a little bit too much area behind it for my liking, but has anyone got any questions, any other thing that they think is worth talking about? I think that they're kind of the certain things, like the talking about the new boots coming. The NASDU Facebook page was something I wanted to mention, so that if people want to go on and have a look. Boots, talking about Christmas and New Year, I think that pretty much covers all that I kind of had planned. If anyone's got anything else they want to talk about, then just put it down in the chat box and we can go with that for a bit. It doesn't matter what it is, doesn't matter if you are watching this and you think it might be a stupid question. There is no stupid questions. I kind of made a point of that when I was training, is that I was always the person that had a question. So Terry would do his session or do his talk, his spiel of whatever it is, and they would always say, has anyone got any questions? I was always the first one to ask a question, because there was definitely 1 or 2 things in there that I just didn't quite understand and I wanted to make sure I did. So in this, if you are just watching and you think it's a dumb question, it's never a dumb question. Trying to keep this windscreen clear is doing my head in as well. I got a message off someone this week who found my videos, contacted me. I've been in constant talks with him for quite a while now, and he's been doing one of the biggest events in the UK this week, and it kind of not made me proud. I think that's maybe a bit wrong, but it's really nice to see someone who first contacted me that wasn't a security dog handler, that wanted to become one, and now a few years down the line he's now working at one of the biggest events in the UK, etc. And I think that I feel like I want to say proud, but I'm proud of him from where he was maybe 18 months, 2 years ago to where he is now. And it just does go to prove that just because you're not in security dog handling now, it doesn't mean that you can't be in security dog handling in 18 months and be working some of the biggest events in the UK, and different things like that. So that was kind of a nice message that I got this week. Like I say, really, I'm proud of him for getting to where he's got to, but it's also nice to know that someone who found my videos learned how to get into the industry and has now gone on to do what he done for the last few months. What's the best product you brought and would recommend? You done a review on the RX3 cam because of the review you done. I bought one last week and it's awesome quality bit of kit. Yeah, I would say that. I'd say in terms of technology, I'd say that the body cam is one of the best pieces of kit I've got. The RX3 Pro, isn't it, or whatever they call it? The I can't remember what name it is. But yeah, definitely the body cam is up there. I would also say my LED lens of torch. Bought this over 3 years ago. It's been really good. So my LED lens of torch, I think that's the P7R or something. So yeah, definitely torch, definitely body cam, stab vest that I brought. Now obviously, thankfully, it hasn't had to come into use in terms of being tested for its stab proof ability, but yeah, definitely stab vest. I actually got a message off someone the other day who's got into the industry pretty recently, who had a knife pulled out on him the other day. Did I talk about this in one of the last lives? He had a knife pulled out on him the other day. So the stab proof vest, just pure the fact that it just gives you an extra bit of comfort in what you're doing, etc. But yeah, I'd say definitely the body cam, the torch, my little fridge. I've got a little fridge in the van now that powers off my extension lead. That's been a really useful bit of kit, especially in the summer, trying to keep stuff cool, etc. But even sort of this time of year, because I've got the fan going, and I don't keep the inside of the van hot, but it's sort of room temperature, so it can keep all of my little cold stuff cold. So yeah, I would say I've got my little fridge as well. Other than that, the Bluetti's been decent, but yeah, I'd say that overall, in terms of security dog handling, I'd say yeah, the torch and the body cam is probably the best bits of kit I've got. Aaron, I'd say more protection for us, but I was involved in an incident at work, working as a security dog handler, and it went to court, and I was shocked, and I was shocked at the outcome, and the judge just slammed him. Yeah, I mean, in terms of like protection that we get, etc., we are protected because of the situations that we will be put in. So a lot of the time when you're dealing with stuff that might go to court, most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, someone has probably broken into the area that you're in. So in terms of you should be there but they shouldn't, they've already committed criminal damage, therefore it goes against them again. Now obviously it depends on what happens in that situation, etc. But I think a lot of the time is that the thing that you have on your side is that you should be there and they shouldn't, and the reason that they're in there already is because they've already committed a crime. So yeah, I get it, but I think that at kind of the end of the day, in most of these situations, you are going to be looked at as someone with a dog that is, what's the best way of putting it? Because no matter what way you go around it, in terms of law, etc., in what we do, it's no different to if I'm walking down the road at home and someone starts a fight with me there, and I use my dog there and then. In terms of law, there's not a difference in between when I'm at work and when I'm out on the street. when I'm at work, if someone tries to fight me, I can use the dog in order to protect me. When I'm outside work, if someone wants to have a fight with me and I use the dog to protect myself, it's exactly the same. If someone pulls a knife on me outside work, I can use the dog. If someone pulls a knife on me inside work, I can use the dog. If someone trespasses through my house, I can use my dog to protect me. If someone trespasses through at work, I can use the dog to protect myself. So there's no difference between how much protection I have at work when I'm putting myself in a possible situation to when I'm outside work when I shouldn't be in any situation. So yeah, I get what you mean. Like, it can shock you, and the thing that you always have that goes your way is that you should be there, and the likelihood is that they shouldn't, and they've already committed a crime by getting to where you are. Is that rain going to annoy anyone? Because it might start dinging around because it's just started lashing down again. Porsche K9, my best buy was my Safeguard Coolmax vest. I wear it loads. I'll have to have a look and see exactly what that is. I'm not 100% sure what that is. Is that like a tactical vest, or is that a stab vest, or is that something, or is it something completely different? But yeah, Aaron, that was kind of the point. I mean, I don't know whether I explained that the best way ever, but in terms of like a bit of extra protection, is that when I'm at work, I would like there to be a difference between not what I can do at work, but the level of protection I have at work compared to the level of protection I have outside work. Because in terms of law, whether I'm at work or whether I'm walking the streets at home, I'm kind of governed by the same law. I've got the same level of protection, and I have to justify everything I do to the same degree. There's no benefit of the doubt that goes more towards me when I'm at work. It's up to a judge to whether the benefit of the doubt goes towards me, etc. Porsche K9, yeah, a covert ballistic vest. Nice. Hopefully through my interview with Aaron and a few of my other videos, I do hope that where'd that come from? Through my videos with Aaron and that, I do hope that more dog handlers, security staff, etc. I do hope that they have gone out and it's made more people wear stab-proof vests and different things like that, because I think that when I first mentioned it, or when I first spoke to people about it, they kind of just sort of laughed it off. And a lot of the people that I trained with, none of them have ever worn stab-proof vests and different things like that. And fuck is that coming from? Oh. Yeah, no one that I ever trained with sort of wore them, and it wasn't even a talked about thing when I was going through my NASDU and different things like that. Like, a stab-proof vest was just nothing that was ever spoken about. So hopefully through my chat with Aaron and some of my videos and me saying it enough times, is that people start looking at getting themselves a stab vest. Because as much as you think that your dog is indestructible, as much as you think that you might be indestructible, as much as you think that you'd be able to get yourself out of situations, just having that level of backup, if you can't, I think is worth the money. I mean, my stab vest cost me like 60-70 quid, I think it was. It's not like I'm going out there spending £1,000 on a stab vest. It's like 60-70 quid for an ex-police issue stab vest. And like I say, I think just talking about it will make people more comfortable wearing them. But yeah, if anything, if me mentioning it enough times makes one person get it, and it possibly saves their life, then it's all worth talking about. And I don't think you should be looked down upon if you do wear a stab vest. I don't think that should be. I don't think that should be a sign that you don't trust your dog. I think it's a sign that you understand the real world that we kind of work in, the real world in which we kind of live in, etc. Is that, especially round where I am in sort of the southeast, sort of London and southeast, knife crime is so high at the moment that it just makes sense that if you're putting yourself in situations where you're going to be dealing with criminals or you're going to be dealing with dangerous people, is that if you know in that area that knife crime is high, then why would you not wear one? It's so light and easy to wear. What I found with, like I say, I've got an ex-police issue stab vest, and I'd say for probably the first 3 or 4 times that I wore my stab vest, I would say that I felt the weight of it, and then after that, after sort of maybe 3 or 4 shifts, like I'd forget I had it on, to be honest. Other than obviously when you sit down, you can feel like the pads and that around you. In terms of like literally just walking around and things like that, like I would forget I had it on. So yeah, like the first sort of 3 or 4 shifts, you could feel the weight on my shoulders, etc. But yeah, after that, like I'd forget that I kind of had it on, and your body just kind of gets used to having that little bit of weight around you. It gives me a little, wait for that to go past. It gives me a little bit more confidence to go into a situation, yeah. And I think that's one of the good things about wearing a stab vest, etc. Is that it just, if it gives you 5% more confidence going into a situation, that you're not distracted about the possibility of getting stabbed in around the chest area or whatever it is, then that's 5% more concentration that you can put on what they're doing or what's going on around you. If you're 95% concentrating on what's happening around you and what's going on, that other 5% that you're not thinking about is possibly the 5% where you get done. If you can take that 5% off and you can fully focus on what's going on in front of you, etc., and you haven't got something in the back of your mind about not wearing a stab vest, etc., then all the better. And like I say, if that 5% of concentration stops you from getting hurt or whatever it is, then all the better, isn't it? I still haven't had my hair cut, and it's starting to get a bit mental, getting a bit out of control. I tried to get a haircut just before Christmas, but as ever, I left it too late and everywhere was all fully booked. So we are in desperate need of a haircut. Bad thing is where it's got so long, I can't work out if I've lost any more. 100% yes. I won't go into full details on here, but he ran at me and kicked my dog, and I got a payout. Oh, nice. He had to cover vet bill and 55-hour community payback. That's nice. Like I say, even when you think about these dogs, and I think that's one of the very sobering thoughts. I think getting into this is that when you get into this, you start thinking that you're indestructible, the dog's indestructible, etc. But at the end of the day, it's still a fight. If someone's going to run at you and they're going to try and attack you, they're going to try and attack the dog, etc., you are just in a fight. And whether you like it or not, you're probably going to have to get involved. You're going to have to help the dog out. You can't just expect the dog to be able to do 100% of the job. As well as if you do get involved and you can escalate the situation to the point where the dog can stop being used, then all the better, isn't it? But yeah, nice that you managed to get that. But yeah, like I say, a lot of the times in the situations you're in is that the person that is on the other end of it is normally going to be the aggressor. So it's sort of already stacked in your favour that they've come into an area that you're meant to be there. They're normally the aggressor, because I think from sort of different interviews that I've seen with ex-convicts and different things like that, I know that like Lab Bible, they do 22 minutes with, or they do 30 minutes with, and sometimes they get some like ex-cons on there, etc. And through listening to lots of their sort of stuff and that, they talk about going in and trying to own the area or own the room as quick as they can and get on top, and try and catch you unawares, or try and get you on the back foot straight away. So yeah, normally when they come on, they're going to be the aggressor, because they're going to try and stamp their authority over to you to see if you'll stand up to it. But yeah, I think that's one of the sobering things when you get into this industry, is that you think, oh, like, I've got the dog to protect me, but at the end of the day, sometimes you are just in a fight and you've got the dog there to protect you, but sometimes you may need to help the dog out, or by you helping out, you can de-escalate it to the point where the dog isn't being used. And once the dog is stopped being used, then you don't go excessive. You don't go to the excessive force kind of different things. Derms. Should the likes of NASDU have regional reps to give handlers advice if they have issues with the dog training, etc.? I mean, I think one of the most disappointing things that I've found in terms of sort of NASDU, NTIPDU, and BIPDT is that they seem to be not voluntary, but they seem to be like a skeleton staff. Like they have the least amount of staff as possible, and that's why I think that's why they're so, that you don't see them promoting stuff, you don't see them doing bits and pieces, you don't see them doing stuff to kind of promote themselves to the outside world. Because look, I've been with NASDU for 3 years now, and I couldn't tell you one person that works for NASDU. I could tell you maybe a few trainers, but I couldn't tell you one person that works for NASDU. I couldn't tell you where their head office is. I couldn't tell you where they're based. I've never seen anyone. Obviously I know that they have people that go out to the trainers and make sure the trainers are set up correctly and different things like that. And the trainers obviously have to pass their thing in order to carry on doing it. But in the 3 years, like, I have no idea of anyone that works for NASDU, where they're based. I mean, I could probably look it up and find out where they are based, but it should be a reasonably known thing within the industry, etc. And I think that at some point, one of them has to go, right, we're going to go full time, we're going to get a proper staff, we're going to do this all properly, and we're going to make us the biggest and make us the best. Now, through the grapevine, I have heard that NTIPDU is under some new management, and I'll be interested to see if they go, well, NASDU have sort of stood still for the last 3 years. I'm going to talk the last 3 years because that's what I know. So NTIPDU might look at it and say, well, NASDU have stood still for the last 3 years. We've got a really good opportunity now to push and promote ourselves and get in front and get ourselves more known than NASDU. And I think that at some point one of them has to do that. And now whether that is taking a gamble on staff, taking a gamble on getting a decent premises, like you would assume, I would assume, assumptions lead to all fuck ups, but I would assume that NASDU would have a base. This is in my head, this is what I think. NASDU would have a base, an office base with a training centre attached to it, where you can say, right, I need to go and get a NASDU. NASDU say, come to our training centre. Our training centre is in Milton Keynes, and at our offices on the side we have a training centre. It's a 5-day course. Come and do your course, therefore you get your NASDU. Why is NASDU not got its own training centre? If it has and I'm wrong, then that's not my fault, because no one, or I've never heard of it. And you would think someone like me who creates content or talks about this sort of stuff, you would think that I would have heard or would have known about that, or someone mentioned it at some point. But as the training as the training overhead, let's say, so someone who oversees all the trainers, you would think that they would have their own centre for doing that, and that would be a way in for NASDU to make their money. Now, obviously, I know that they probably earn money through the trainers or whatever it is, but you would think that someone like a NASDU or a NIPDU would say, right, let's get a base in the middle of the country. So maybe it won't be Manchester, but maybe it's going to be somewhere like a Leicester or something like that. And they say, right, this is going to be our base. We are going to push out and promote that we do NASDU courses, and we do CT, we do all this sort of stuff. And we're going to go around and we're going to find 2 or 3 local trainers that we trust and different things like that. And we're going to put them in our training centre, and we're going to offer CT sessions, we're going to offer NASDU, we're going to offer top-up courses, we're going to offer different courses that people can do, we're going to offer courses, handcuff training, we're going to offer all of this sort of stuff. We'll work with the SIA, and we'll get SIA instructors to come in, and people can come to our centre, and we'll offer SIA courses, and people can get their SIA and their NASDU in the same area, not the same week. You do your SIA maybe 1 week, wait for your badge to come, then do your NASDU, etc. But why is that not an option for people? Like, and I don't know, there's a Premier Inn down the road that you have a deal with, and say, look, we're going to offer a 5-day course, can we get a discount so that you go and stay at Premier Inn for £30 a night for the 5-day course, etc. So you could just go to Milton Keynes, Leicester, Birmingham, whatever you want, and you can do your whole course there. Why is that not an option? But yeah, I think that's what needs to kind of happen, and one of them needs to step out and say, right, we're going to push, we're going to go for this, and then see where that leads. I think that someone's going to have to do it at some point. We can't keep having governing bodies that no one knows anything about, no one knows who's there, no one knows who runs it, no one knows where they're based. Well, people will, but it's not general knowledge to me. So I think it is an interesting one, and possibly something that one of them should be really looking at. And maybe if one of them watches this video, maybe it'll just click them in, and they'll say, well, maybe we should take a chance, or maybe we should try and set something up. And like I say, it doesn't have to be like in the next 2 months. It doesn't have to be like an all singing, all dancing thing. You can start off small with a trainer and offering CT and NASDU sessions, etc., or NASDU courses, and then build it up from there. But yeah, I think that's one of the most disappointing things for me in terms of NASDU, NIPDU and BIPDT, is that like they're literally nothing. They're no one knows anything about them. No one knows where they are, how to contact them. A lot of the time, like a lot of people that contact me, they ask about trainers, and I have to go on to the NASDU website, somehow get through. I'll say somehow, I know how to do it, but I have to get through all their little links and their buttons, etc., and then send someone a link and say, look, here's a list of all of the trainers. They've got Birmingham as a section there. Have a look at the Birmingham instructors, and then maybe contact one of them and see how you get on with that. Like, a lot of the time I've had to do that for people, because people just don't know where to go, and even when you get to the site, they don't know where to look for that information, etc. So yeah, I feel like that was quite a big rant, but that is something that does annoy me a lot, is that we have governing bodies who, to me, in my opinion, kind of sit in the background, don't really say much, don't really converse much, don't really put themselves out and talk to people, but they seem to want to take all the money in. So that's just my opinion. Look, it might be a different story if you are more in the inner circle. If you are a trainer and you have more dealings with NASDU, maybe it is a bit different. But in terms of a security dog handler's point of view, that is my experience of all 3 of them, because I'm on pages where NIPDU, NASDU, no, let me say it properly. I'm on pages where NASDU, NIPDU and BIPDT could be pushing themselves out to 3,000, 5,000 handlers on a regular basis, but yet they sit in the background and let someone like me talk about it, and then hopefully someone takes notice of whatever I'm saying. Right, we are 50 minutes in. I think that that's enough for this live. I'm hoping next week I'll be back to doing the normal 2 a week or whatever it is. I was going to do a live last night instead of tonight, but Luke Littler was playing in the darts, and I assumed that every person in the world was going to be watching that, which is why I've done it tonight. Got to see in this that we got a few more people in, etc. I'm surprised that Get Licensed haven't got onto it yet. Exactly, like, is it going to take at some point for someone else, not saying me, is it going to take for someone else to say, right, I'm going to start up my own organisation like a NASDU. I'm going to start up my own organisation and I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to promote myself out to everyone, and all of a sudden everyone starts going to that one because they have a centre, they have all of the mod cons, they offer different types of things, they offer different training courses and different things like that. Is it going to take for someone to start their own organisation and just walk straight through the door past NASDU, NIPDU and BIPDT for NASDU to go, oh, hold on, we need to react here, we need to do something? Well, I know we've sat still for 3 years and not done anything, but maybe it's time that we actually step forward and try to do something, because at the end of the day we hold SIA licenses, which are government licenses. You get them through the government website, and yet the people that are governing us seem to be just a general dogs group. That's what they seem to me like. NASDU seem to me like a dogs group, like you would be if you went and joined a German Shepherd club. Like, you have like a few people that are like volunteers, or they do it as a non-profit kind of thing, and they kind of run it. They take a bit of a wage, but they've got a real job on the side. That's what it seems like to me. Like, when I say that I hold an SIA license, which is a government license, having someone like NASDU that overlooking what I'm doing doesn't seem right. It should be that if you hold a government license and you're doing government work, is that the person, the organisation that is overlooking you should probably be something to do with the government. Like, it should be tied in one way or another, that the government should look at it and say, hold on, these people are governing our security officers, we need to make sure that they're doing the right thing. The Guard Dog Act needs a section in it specific to security dog handlers. Probably, yeah, I think maybe was security dog, the Guard Dogs Act 1975, that I'm going to look like an absolute idiot if I got that wrong. The Guard Dogs Act 1975, you would think over the last 25, 35, 45, 50, no, it's not 50 years, is it? Nearly 50 years. Yeah, so nearly 50 years has the that Guard Dogs Act 1975 been going. You would think that there would be some kind of amendment by now. Maybe there has been some amendments at some point, but yeah, maybe that does need to get looked at now that we are in a, like, the world is very different to the world is very different to how it was in 2010, let alone 2000, 99, 1975, whatever it is. And maybe some of it does need to be updated a little bit and that. But right, we are coming up to 54 minutes. I'm going to call it there. I've had a rant probably about NASDU for the last sort of I've had a rant about NASDU probably for the last 20 minutes. So hopefully you got something out of that. If you know someone from NASDU, maybe send that to them, and possibly maybe that will push them to do something. Who knows? But yeah, if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below for loads more videos. Hopefully they won't cancel me, and I'll be back here next week, and I'll see you again in the next live. Cheers for watching, guys. See you later. Bye.